Day 15, Tuesday, January 31st, 2023. Today was a hard day for me. I'm not sure if it's because it's been 2 weeks or if I just miss my family. I'm trying to keep myself busy. We had church tonight, and the bishop, who's been coming here for over 30 years, stopped me before the service and said, "My wife wanted me to tell you that she loves you and that she's praying for you." Some girls' rooms were raided today. I'm not sure exactly what was taken. Inmate.com, prison gossip, said everything from altered clothes to food taken from the warehouse to cocaine. There was a girl that was taken to county and all of her commissary was thrown away. It just doesn't make sense. So you get taken to county if they find that you've done something wrong, and why they would throw away all of her stuff, I don't know. Again, it's one of the things that just does not make sense. Day 16, Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. I got up this morning early to shower, grateful for hot water. Kim, Eve, and I cleaned the floors in our 2 hallways and in the bus stop. It's so frustrating because they won't give you any of the supplies that you need to clean. A doctor's appointment at 1 o'clock for the flu shot. I asked to have my blood pressure taken while I was in there, and she said no. It makes no sense. I said, well, at this point, I'm more valuable to my family dead. So I said, well, at this point, I'm more valuable to my family dead than alive, so oh well. I'm sure it's okay, but it's just the principle. I had a conversation with one of the younger girls, and she really wants to do better and learn some things, but they don't offer anything. I'm teaching a real estate class, and I asked where I could get the info for the class. There's an outdated book and access to a typewriter if you buy the ribbon and commissary. I have 2 classes tonight too, and also being a judge for one of the other classes. I'm one of the sharks for their Shark Tank presentation. I was able to go to commissary today. My fleece, thermals, shower shoes, and tennis shoes all came in. This letter where mom states that I asked to have my blood pressure taken while I was in there, and she said no. It makes no sense. I said, well, at this point, I'm more valuable to my family dead than alive, so oh well. As her daughter reading these things, first off, mom suffers from high blood pressure. Really, really bad. That's why she went into labor with Grayson, at 34 weeks, somewhere around there. And all she wanted was her blood pressure checked, and they wouldn't even do that. And then to hear your mother say that she's worth more dead than alive is probably the most heartbreaking thing anyone could ever hear. Because I know that my mother has made such an impact on so many people's lives, and that's worth more than anything else ever. Day 17, Thursday, February 2nd, 2023. I'm writing this letter at 3:15 p.m. What a day. I was up early doing laundry and getting my shower for orientation at 7:30. While in orientation, I was called out to the doctor. I walked in thinking it was gynecology. I sat down with the doctor, and she proceeds to tell me that my HCG level was high, 10.2. This is a pregnancy hormone. It should not be that high. If it were a little higher, I would test positive on a pregnancy test. Since that's not a possibility, it could be a sign of a tumor. I literally fell apart. How can this be happening? I'm going to have blood work redone and get a scan. I've not told anyone, and I'm not going to until I know what's going on. I'm so scared. I just want my husband. I don't know if I can do this without him. Then SIS pulls me aside and asks if I have put money on anyone's account. Of course I haven't, and I told them that. I don't understand why people want to try and cause trouble. On another note, I'm scheduled to start work on March 6, 2023. Praying all goes well. So this right here is a perfect example of the lack of health care that you receive in the system and how they're not the most educated doctors that work for the BOP. These people, half the time, don't even know what they're doing, don't know how to prescribe medication, and they tell your family nothing. I mean, they tell your family absolutely nothing. I wasn't notified of any of this. They don't care. If my mom were to go to the hospital, I would not know. And to think of her sitting there worrying about, oh my God, my cancer may be back. And something that has stayed so just steadfast in every single letter is, I just want my husband. I just want Todd. I miss him. And that's what, you have these articles out there, once again, these trash box tabloids that want to say Todd and Julie are going to get divorced. They're not going to make it through this. They're all these things. That is a straight up lie, and you can see it for yourself in all of these letters. It's infuriating to me. So this is day 18 and 19. So February 3rd and 4th of 2023. Pretty uneventful day. Glad it's Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. The girls are visiting Todd this weekend. Gray, Mom, and Dad are coming, and I can't wait to see them. Grayson's getting so big. Chad brought Gray, and it was so good to see him. He's been a godsend. He's so good with Gray and Chloe. Chase came with Mom and Dad. I love getting to spend one-on-one time with them. We attempted to play spades. Mom was hilarious. Bless her heart. All in all, it was a good weekend. Monday, February 6, 2023, day 20. I was on the call-out sheet for blood work. I'm happy that they're testing me. We walked to A building this morning and had it done. There was a couple of ladies with me. I'm hoping and praying that my levels have not risen. You can tell some days she just cannot bring herself to say anything, and then some days are better than others. Day 21, Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Someone came to get me this morning to go on a med trip. I had no idea. I guess they don't let you know ahead of time. An officer drove me to UK. She was very nice. I saw a doctor there. She thinks I have a hernia. I'm going to wait for the results of my blood work to determine what avenue I need to take. This is so scary, navigating my health journey all alone. I miss Todd so much. Church was great tonight. I enjoyed the singing so much, and his preaching style is not necessarily what I'm used to, but it was so good for me to pray and take it all in. Once again, I miss Todd so much. I think every letter says that. Day 22, Wednesday, February 8th, 2023. FSA is all the talk around here. Girls are waiting on credits to be applied. This building is falling apart. The girls have been working on water breaks and sewage backups all week. It's crazy how they expect the inmates to know how to fix these major problems on this old building. Once again, there's sewage backups. There was sewage in the cafeteria. You've got water main breaks, and they just give these women just tools and say, go fix it. Like, they don't know how to fix these things. You're not teaching them how to fix these things. And with the BOP having a $9 billion budget every year, there's no reason why these women should be out there trying to get a water main break to stop, or how to fix backup sewage. $9 billion. Where is it going? Because it's definitely not going to these things. And it's so infuriating because there's $9 billion is the BOP's budget, and you have roughly 125 federal facilities, and they're about 30 to 40% understaffed. So if they're that much understaffed, guess what? The budget's not going to staffing. $9 billion. So where's it going? Day 23, Thursday, February 9th. Pretty uneventful day. Trying to stay positive. That was it. So, as you can tell just from that was a rough day. Day 24, Friday, February 10th. Sav and Chloe are coming today because I have a class on Saturday, my first FSA. I spent the morning getting ready, shower, hair, makeup. I don't do my makeup except when I'm getting a visit. They arrived at 5. Savannah seems to be doing okay. I worry so much about her. Chloe was good. She was very clingy. She basically sat in my lap the whole time. I love getting to have a conversation with them in real person. My evening was a little sad. I always get sad after they leave, but it's so worth it. And so, obviously, Mom was super worried about me, which I feel like moms just know. They just know when things are tough. They know when their kid's struggling. They feel it. And I definitely was struggling. Heck, I still struggle to this day. But I do a really good job at dealing with my emotions myself. Trying to not worry them, because why worry them when there's nothing they can do? Also, too, when she refers to FSA, that's the First Step Act classes that they can take in order to earn credits to hopefully have an early release. Day 25, Saturday, February 11th. My first FSA class was today with Miss Stone. It really was a waste of time, but at least I get credit. I'm taking it. It lasted until about 1 p.m. No one is visiting today because I wasn't sure what time we would finish. I went back upstairs and talked to some of the ladies. I usually talk with Kim, Donna, and Bev. Another girl who I just want to keep certain names out just because, just out of privacy, but this is obviously a point that really has to be made. Another girl was up there. She's an older lady who handles the plumbing in the building. She was very agitated and edgy. The nurse took her off all of her meds cold turkey. The medicine was an antipsychotic, and she was really freaking out. Her hands were red where she was wringing them. I felt so bad for her. There's no way they should do this. There is no psychiatrist on staff, only a psychologist. There has to be something done. I feel like so many of these women are way too medicated, and others are not medicated properly. I spent the rest of the day reading and playing cards. How you have doctors taking these women off of medication just cold turkey, knowing when someone suffers from psychological issues and mental health, and to just take someone off their medicine cold turkey and say, good luck. Like, that is what I mean by our system failing people with mental health. And what's so crazy is, everything recently has been all about mental health. Mental health is so important. Mental health awareness, this, that. But what about the people in our system? Because we're not giving them any mental health treatment. Instead, we're taking them off medications cold turkey, which is a danger to not only them, but everyone else around them. I mean, and the fact that there's not even a psychiatrist on staff is a major issue and red flag. And at this point, the BOP should be held accountable for their neglect when it comes to health care and mental health treatment, and heck, everything else that goes along with it. That right there is something that, wow. This episode of Unlocked is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. To all my podcast listeners, whether you love true crime or comedies, celebrity interviews, news, or even motivational speakers, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue, right? And guess what? Now you can call the shots on your auto insurance too. Enter the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. The Name Your Price tool puts you in charge of your auto insurance by working just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you a variety of coverages that fit within your budget, giving you options. Now that's something you'll want to press play on. It's easy to start a quote, and you'll be able to choose the best option for you fast. It's just one of the many ways you can save with Progressive Insurance. Quote today at progressive.com to try the Name Your Price tool for yourself and join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. This episode of Unlocked is brought to you by BetterHelp. You guys know I've spoken about BetterHelp time and time again, and that's because I am a firm believer in their product. I mean, BetterHelp is absolutely amazing, and it's all online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you do is just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. I don't know about you, but 2024 has started off with quite a bang. And for me, being a single parent, single income household, trying to deal with finances, kids, my own personal mental health, it's all been a huge challenge. I am not going to lie. And that is where therapy and BetterHelp has come into play, because I have started to realize that if I am not my best self possible, then how in the heck am I going to be able to operate? So that's where I turn to BetterHelp. Let's face it, you've got Valentine's coming around the corner, and if you don't have someone, that's okay. You can become your own soulmate, whether you're looking for one or not. You can visit betterhelp.com/Savannah today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Savannah. If you've been listening to Unlocked with Savannah, then you know that I am a huge Jenny Kane fan. So you're in for a treat, because support for today's episode comes from Jenny Kane. I finally found a uniform that I'm completely obsessed with. Jenny Kane is a California brand through and through, and their staples make getting dressed easier than it's ever been before. Think minimalist and effortless, but totally refined. From luxurious cashmere sweaters and iconic accessories to elevated versions of all of your everyday basics, not to mention the most incredible home essentials too. Jenny Kane is here to help you live your best year yet. Their sweaters, y'all, are just the quintessential must-have item. And this season especially, I can't get enough of their cotton collection. The oversized cotton fisherman and cotton cocoon are the perfect everyday pieces. And as the days get warmer, you can best bet I'll be wearing them on repeat. I get compliments every time I wear Jenny Kane. No lie. Their sweaters, everyone always asks, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? Jenny Kane. They're so comfortable, and I can truly live in them all year long. In case you didn't notice, they have shoes too. The leather lug mule is everything you could ever want in a classic it girl shoe. It seriously pairs well with everything. So Jenny Kane has been my go-to brand for the past year. Everything is so comfortable, cozy, elevated, casual, you name it, they have it. Plus, their homeware is absolutely amazing. And they have an incredible rewards program to where you can earn up to 10% back with every purchase. And joining is completely easy. So find your new uniform at jennykane.com. Our listeners get 15% off your first order when you use code UNLOCKED at checkout. That's 15% off your first order at jennykane.com. JENNIKAYNE.com with the promo code UNLOCKED. Let getting dressed be one less thing to worry about. Day 26, Sunday, February 12th, 2023. It's Super Bowl Sunday. What I wouldn't give to be home with my kids. Mom and Dad got here at 9 this morning. We had a great visit. It was nice to just sit and talk. They stayed until about 2. I went upstairs and everyone was going crazy. FSA credits had been applied and so many people's dates got moved up. It's going to be a crazy week. Lots of people are getting released. I watched the Super Bowl and came back to my room and read and prayed, praying that Todd doesn't get COVID. This was when, obviously, the sickness was still running rampant in our prison system. And the first time Dad got it, he was in the hospital for days, and it was really bad. So she was just so afraid for him because you don't have proper health care. You are in the filthiest environment. They aren't doing anything to protect you. Day 27, Monday, February 13th, 2023. Woke up with a headache today. And that's all Julie had to say on February 13th. So, Mom, the last letter was on February 13th. And now the next letter is February 24th. So what's kind of crazy is today is February 20th. And this was during that time that she was skipping writing, and I don't know. Let's see. So day 39, Friday, February 24th, 2023. I haven't journaled in so long. I have to make myself do it every day. For some reason, I don't want to rehash the day, but I feel like it's an important part of my day. Since my last journal, according to inmate.com, was called down for a drug test. She is supposedly a drug queenpin. She is super quiet and stays in her room most of the time. I've spoken to her in the phone line and have seen her in the mass hall. She sometimes walks the hall with another lady. According to protocol, they're supposed to give you 2 hours and then send you to county. She was in the office for over 4 hours. A counselor came in as well as the officers. She was scared to death, literally shaking. According to women who know her, she has something wrong with her kidneys or bladder. She drank water and soda while in the office. After 4 hours, she began shaking and hallucinating. She urinated and threw up on the sofa. She then collapsed. And what transpired afterwards is unknown for sure. Her friend says she was given Narcan, and others have said the EMS had to use paddles to resuscitate her. She was taken by ambulance to UK, where she was placed in ICU on a ventilator. As of today, she's still in the hospital. That occurred about 2 weeks ago. Regardless of her drug test, she should have never been treated this way. Change has to occur. There was an altercation between 2 women. There was an altercation between 2 women, and one of the women, her nickname is Medea. One girl didn't back down to her. One young girl was taken to county. She came back and stayed for less than 24 hours before returning. These young ones have no respect at all. Another girl was taken for 1 cigarette that was found. She is, I believe, the youngest here. Supposedly, there is a phone in the campus that SIS keeps continuing to look for. They ransacked people's rooms. We were on the 3rd floor playing cards. They messed up some people's rooms and left with cardboard boxes and wooden shelves that people had in their lockers. Most shelves are gone from the old rusty lockers. If they don't want us using them, then give us new lockers that are properly assembled. I started work on the 27th. I work Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. until 1. I enjoy it because I stay busy. This week has been my hardest. I'm worried about Todd and the kids. They're seeing Todd this weekend after 3 weeks of COVID lockdown. They won't even test when you have it at the camp. One of the ladies went down for COVID symptoms, and they told her that there was no more COVID and that she needed to take a Tylenol. She was so sick. I'm helping Eve clean the bathrooms and our floor on my days off. Eve found out that she's going home in March. It's now September. She's been down 9 years on a 16-year sentence. She's a really good person. She has 2 grown boys and a teenage daughter. She found out today that her husband's going to be deported back to Cambodia when he is released. He has lived in the country since he was 2. How is this right? The weather has been crazy this week. We've had great weather, almost 80, and now today the high's in the 50s. The camp is already getting hot. We've had our windows open and fans going since I got here. Hoping for a better week next week. Going to keep journaling. So those are all the letters that I have right now. But essentially that gets us to this time a year ago. Literally, like this day, the day this is released, a year ago. So there's obviously a lot to catch up on, a lot of journaling that I hope Mom sends me. But these were the first few weeks of what life was like for her. And all I can say is that I've never been so proud to call my mom Mom. I see her strength and her resilience and her humor and heart, and everything that she is everything that I love and everything that I hope to be. And so reading these letters and knowing her struggle, but how she's worrying about her kids and her husband, and just, it brings me so much peace. Just knowing that, like, that's the woman my mother is. And if I can be half of who she is, then shoot, I will be so happy. So I hope you guys hear these letters and you open your hearts and minds and you have grace and laughter and love and all the feelings, and just know that hopefully this too shall pass and they will be home soon. But until then, I hope you enjoy the Prison Diaries series, and we'll keep it going. I've told Dad to send me some stuff too, so we'll see. He's too busy trying to, take down the entire BOP. But until then, I love you guys, and I appreciate you showing up and just being part of our story.